Love Summit was an entertainment riot with super talented acts like Collins and Mecca spilling all the love jokes and telling us how church boys did not know how to vibe. Well, some church boys may beg to differ. The day was filled with lots of beautiful live performances from individuals and bands, making sure we were all up in the moods for love and leaving everyone wishing they were not single. The day was also graced by the beautiful power couples, the Chimulis, Kenneth Chimuli, also known as Pablo, and the beautiful wife, Karen Chimuli. The Sengendos, Sengendo John Mary and Sengendo Jackie.
Go and get me a male guy's lefty shoe. Hey.
That's right. Gentlemen, I want to give you tips on how you can convince a lady. Using current affairs and using the Bible. When you are trying to convince a lady, ladies want to have that security that my man has knowledge of the Bible. Ladies want that security that my man knows current affairs. So you look at her and you're like, Rachel, you have a beautiful smile that makes me forget my name. Be mine and just like Moses. Why? Stop interrupting me. Don't mind that. So look at her, tell her, your smile makes me forget my name. Be mine forever. And just like Moses, I will lead you to the promised land. Just like David, I will fight that Goliath. Just like Noah, I'll build that ark in your heart and bring blessings. Just like Jajati Muhammadwa, I'll secure your future. Just like Chaburani, your power is my power. Just like NTV, you turn on my world. Like NBS, I will love you always. Like Amuriat, I will move barefoot miles to see you. Just like Mao, I will never give up on you. Be mine forever, and we shall shout Katumba Oye. Have a great evening.
the Love Summit was all about the singles, and we had a singles dinner. Food. I must confess, it was absolutely beautiful, with everyone impeccably fresh looking and ready to find the one. The power couple showed up and they were all in to answer some of the burning questions from the singles. The couples were asked how they met, and they all had beautiful stories to that question.
Karen and I never had any relationship until we had a relationship, but we didn't have a sexual relationship until we got married. And before that, I should say, I decided that I'm not going to engage in any relationship. But I gave my life to Christ in 2003. And I said from that time I'm going to keep myself. It's very difficult, I should say, extremely difficult, especially if you're in entertainment circles, you know.
I think one of the biggest challenges we face in these situations of sexual temptation is the reason we are doing it. Like, what's the reason behind you keeping yourself pure? Once you've got that confirmed, like Pablo said, once you have that down, it becomes much easier for you to manage. Some of us started out, for example, personally in school, the school I was in, Christian school, everything, we were Christians, but we didn't even know why we were Christians. So, like we had all these do's and don'ts, but we had no idea why. And so that's why they would say that girls from the school I went to Gayaza High School, but they would say girls would go from Gayaza and they go to campus, and immediately they are the ones who fall, they are the ones who get pregnant, they are the ones who do what, because there was no solid reason as to why we were doing the things that we were doing. But when you have a clear reason as to why, and which is primarily to please God and not even the people around you, then it becomes much easier to manage. And that is how he and I were able to keep ourselves until after we got married.
In September, let's say it was I think 29. There was October, yes, there was something happening at campus move worship course. The ministering, Irechiro, Nazar texting at Jackie Wangi, Govita J. Hey, thanks for the ministry today at the worship house. Hey, even say hi to me. Now, you go check Pastor Gembe's page. Now, Pastor Gembe's page, ndakuliko abala bali masu dala masa bali mukuzina. Kati nzukira omwana yadamulira ni Shakira, she's her friend. Namubuziza kuni bandiba bundi wini kuikuja. Nenga Shakira yemumanyi nenga ye simumanyi face ye yo nenga ndamwapa ngenda na ye. Ige chiro yogera na ye. Ngamba mukama. Chindu mwana muchali. Bikabagamye sirebu yagudde mukwano n'omulema oba omuntu alina eriiso limu oba alina omukono gumu nga mpulira njagala mugamba nti mwana gwe kwagala naye nga jogera naye nga simumanyi bafaana so nasoka nzikwasa Shakira yali naye mumazi naye nga tomulaba bagalubiri jakiyalo yono ndemulamaje nnyo abayingira kasi n'abanga mukaka pothole zimutima nga ndowooza muleme nemale kutambula bulungi nabamutawasire kutambula bulungi nyamba togera muleme ndowooza naye sijja kuti oba simanyi but so anyway the story is nali nkuweddings omwagadde nga even before sinamulaba so ngeno omutukako ngaali steady a smile keeko so I'm like okay I think so from that day I was started going to Kasanga every day ngera muchima ku mulimu ne uzayo tuta muchikoni wakukoni yokola mugenda ngegayaza nkango kumumanyane nesibeba nga mujukira bulungi esibagera zira so ndo mugamba munayenze nzo kubanga sina bigambo bingi nesimanyi bulungi kwa ndaba munayenze njagala kuwasa straight away galoza ya kusanga
kati muri mwami ladies and gentlemen, your big hand clap for John Marie and Lady J.
I also got the chance to do a couple of interviews where I asked a few questions and I got quite the answers. It was such a beautiful day, really a day to remember. We're trying to have a few interviews with some of the people, and right next to me is the event manager. She'll be talking to us. How are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm okay. What is your name?
I'm Rachel Namtebi, or Ray.
Okay, I think Ray suits you. So Ray, are you the events manager?
Yeah, I am really. I'm an events manager at Christway Church.
Okay. So from what perspective, what prompted you to organize this event for the singles?
Yeah, we realized that youth and those who are single, they really need something can bring them together, connect, like to know each other, to have relationship in a godly way. So we decided to bring it up and see how they can connect.
Right next to me is a great man of God, and he will be giving us his perspective and take of this day, the Love Summit. Musumba, mkama yebazi besewo.
Yebazi besewo, science okubeera wano. Yes.
Musumba, gwe musumba we kanisa eno.
Yes, sir, nze musumba wa Christway Church.
Abavubuka abo gwe waba empoweringa okola olunaku luno oba gwe kyava mu kirowoozo kyo oba mukama yagamba.
We decided to organize a special day just to answer relationship love questions, and we agreed that on the 16th, like today, is the day we're going to answer all these questions. So I felt that young people needed to find a space where they can, interact, be able to see one another, because we've seen many young people from the church going to get guys from, say, what we call the world, and we are like, why don't we have a space where we can give a platform for young people to actually find love? So one of the reasons we are here is to give a platform for the people from within the church fraternity, because some people here are not only from this church, but they're from other churches. So we want the guys that are ready to marry to find young ladies who are full of the spirit and they're willing to get married. I mean, why don't you find them in church instead of the street or the bar or anywhere?
There's absolutely nothing good about being single.
Why is it so?
Because you miss out on so many things. The reason God brought Eve into the world is because he knew Adam needed a helper. So if you are going through life alone, you miss out on the whole couple experience that God had planned out for you.
Yeah. Well, from your answer, I feel like you have experience in that field. So what are the things that people can do or people can look at to know that that person is the one?
Well, I'm not yet at that level of knowing who the one is. All I know is that I have the one. I don't know how the others can tell, but you just know when you meet someone, something just sparks, and you know this might be the one. In the way she talks, in the way she respects you, in the way she talks to your friends and family, in the way she talks to God, in the way she is around the body of Christ, in the way she serves, in the way she ministers. At least for me, those are the things that made me realize that she might be the one.
I'm single but not searching. Definitely.
Everyone here is not searching, but they've come for the singles occasion. So how do you know that that person is the one? Because one of the questions that they're asking, the single people, how do you know that that person is the one?
You know, when you're out there looking for someone, you have a list of things you need. And he might not be perfect, but at least he has 5 of those that I need.
What's the age limit for being single?
I will not have an age limit for being single, but it is good to be single because one gets to understand themselves better so that they can be able to deal with other people. You cannot love another unless you have loved yourself first. So in this singlehood, it is time for you to love yourself, understand yourself, so that you may be able to take in someone else with whatever they are.
I was brought up to believe that everything beautiful comes to an end. Well, so did the Love Summit. Praises to the organizers of the day. The singles showed up in numbers and aced the dressing code. Everything was so organized and beautiful. From the MCs to the dinner tables, the ambience of the place, the entertainment and guests. Personally, I enjoyed everything and I had a lot to learn and take back home with me. But more so, it was a pleasure covering the event as SquadUp and getting an in-depth of being a young single Christian.